Good afternoon, beautiful artisans. Here we are already on Thursday. I seriously cannot believe it. I've been inundated in designing and doing my artwork. I'm very inspired. I want to share with you these few coin bags that are WIP, but almost done. So, welcome to the channel. If you are new, thank you for jumping on board. It's free. And we work with all different types of recycled materials, fabrics, supplies, whatever you can think of to create, to give the earth a little hug, to extend the life of fabrics so they don't end up in the 292 million pounds of scrap or waste, right? Solid waste that's in the landfills. So, and if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. And I love your suggestions. I love your comments. Keep them coming. It's a real guide for me. I just love it. So with that, I got to tell you too, I stopped to get a cup of coffee. This was the perfect time. It's a little late in the afternoon, but it's like a perfect coffee time. You know that feeling when you've been working all day and you're creating and you're like, yeah, this is good. I actually got some stuff done. And you're like, it's coffee time. So this cup was gifted to me by a neighbor, and it's just beautiful. It's very large. It's not the kind I would typically buy for myself because I wouldn't spend to that caliber. It's just beautiful. And it keeps the coffee hot. I don't know if it's because the coffee cup is so high or what is going on. But that is a good cup of coffee. So some of you probably saw my video earlier today where I was talking about some changes coming along. And, really I want to emphasize, the only part I really want to emphasize is when we create as artists, if we do get onto some kind of platform, we don't ever want to lose ourselves and worry too much about the numbers. So with that, I have been creating now, check this out. This is the coin bag that I was stitching with you the other day, and I went ahead and sewed it. I put the lining on. I am still working on this part of it, and I decided this was a really good place to stop because I want to talk to you. If you are creating and making your coin bags and you're using all of your remnant denims, the little pieces, you're using, parts of the waistband, you're using, parts of the waistband. I have a lot of that. You're using the seams, whatever you're using. A couple things I want to point out to you. So, okay, so we first hand stitched it. We did our sashiko stitching to create our Boro inspired piece. Now, it's still WIP because even though I machine stitched to reinforce and to add to the aesthetics, this part I want to show you. You see how open that is? This isn't done yet. But the reason I did not use my machine on this part, you see, you probably already guessed it. Yeah, there's a seam which is quilted, and then there's the base, and then there's another piece of fabric. Too thick for this machine. I do not have an industrial sewing machine. Now, I want to get one. I even want to get a sashiko sewing machine, but that's two more machines. And I'm telling you, some of these machines are very expensive, especially when you get into industrial or you get into sashiko. The sashiko stitching machines, they are expensive. However, with all of that said, guess what? Good old hand sewing will bring this baby home, and it will look absolutely adorable. So I already have a little hand sewing on the seam, and that was the seam to the base. So I'm going to do whip stitching, and they're large whip stitching right through. So I am getting it nice and adhered to all of the layers. Now, the sides here, I started from the bottom of the pocket here and I went up. And I've only gone up once so far. I will go up and down the entire length. I keep going right here. Now, this is the part when you're making your coin bag, you really want to pay attention to. You do not want this flimsy. You don't want one or two, rows of stitches. You really want to make sure this is beautifully adhered. So I go up 3 and 4 times all the way up, so then it's catching the pocket to the back. And that's important because then when the person buys it and they go like that, that's nice. They don't have to worry about these parts coming undone. Now, for the loop, what I did, I chose to use a single piece of fabric that, yes, matches the beautiful buffalo plaid, black and white here. I put a little ring. Now, there's many different rings. I have, just want to show you. There's this type of ring. Okay, so this type of ring where what you would do is before you sew this in between your fabrics, you would put it on your loop. That's just the way that works. It's more fabric there. That's just the way that one works. No clip or anything. And then there is your typical large split ring, and that would just slide right on. So you can certainly sew your fabric on, and then you can put this one on. So the other thing you can do with your with this one, if you wanted to, you could use a few jump rings to if you forgot to put it on, and you know what, and that's just a matter of getting little pliers, which do not cost much at all, and many times you can get those at the thrift shop, and they're in excellent condition and they last like forever. Little jewelry pliers and whatnot. So anyway, that's how I did that, and I just think it's just adorable. And after this video, I'm going to sit down, relax. I want to get caught up on the news. As you know, there's many world events going on right now. So I'm going to sit and do hand sewing until probably like 7 o'clock. So that's about two hours of hand sewing until supper. Now take a look at this. I am absolutely in love with this little design. Now, how did this come about? Like I say, I follow the energy of the fabrics. I really do. This piece that you're looking at right here, let me show it to you close up. See it? That is upside down. It's a part, I'm just showing you like this. This is a part of a waistband, right? The waist part of a pair of jeans. So I just turned it up like that. Now, working with these parts or these type of remnants, what you're dealing with is a lot of quilted and very thick, maybe even fused fabrics. So what you want to do is, in my opinion, and what I do, is I use discretion on what I am going to put all the way through with my machine. And what I don't think the needle can handle, I will hand stitch. But look at this. So I'm going to open this up. This has no lining. This is like WIP. Okay, so that's all the machine stitching. Free form. This is not like I'm measuring this and measuring that and worrying about this and is the line perfectly straight. No, this is a humble, beautiful, Boro inspired, and even if you want to say a little boho, a little bohemian, yeah. But this with a primitive art flair, definitely primitive. I just love it. So I just love it. I feel like I'm working on a canvas, and I guess it is a canvas, But here I'll be choosing some fabric for the lining, and then I'll sew that in. But first, what I'm going to do, again, when I sit down and I relax a little bit, right here, I just want to show you, these are seams. And yes, I went ahead and cut the seam for effect. I just wanted it like that. And I like the fraying. I like the little bit of a rough effect, raw edges, kind of emotional. I love that. So I feel that's closer to reality than the manageable, perfect. You know what I mean? No. Anyway, welcome to my world, right? But this, what happened here is I put this little part of the waistband here. I machine stitched what I could. And I could have hand stitched the whole thing. But the reason I am hand stitching and machine stitching is because of time. Am I like flying through these? Like, oh my God, I got to get these done. Like, because I'm in a manufacturing environment or I've got to make them for the store. No. I am simply doing it because when I am sitting and I am hand stitching, it's taking me many, many hours and my neck and this and that. I got to get up and this and that. So this is really adding to my own variety, my own diversity of aesthetics and techniques that I want to use. And I think and I just love it. So what happened is this piece went over just so far. And I almost left it like that. I said, but no, I want to put a little piece. I'm thinking I'm trying a little piece of denim over there. And I thought that looked kind of cutesy. And then I'm looking at the little vintage, this is old too. This is a vintage piece of cloth that I stamped with permanent ink of a little heart. That's what that is. So that's on there. And then I put a little piece of denim to kind of abstract it, just kind of give it a little movement there. I just love it. But when I picked up this piece of fabric with the same tone of pink and red, I was blown away on how just adorable it looked. I'm like, that's not going to go. That's perfect. Boom, done. Because you know what that is? You can see the abstract. It's a rose sitting above a heart. This is a rose, and this is the heart. It doesn't get better than that. I mean, who knew? And you can't help but think about the beauty in brokenness, the joy that can come out of brokenness. And we have all been there. And, it's just amazing on our journey on how things can change as we go along. So anyway, but I wanted to share these with you this afternoon and encourage you, get out your scraps, design. And if you're designing and there's something not sitting right about the design, give yourself a coffee break, come back to it, let it sit, maybe start another project. You don't have to have the full thing fully designed and everything perfect within a certain amount of time. And you're working with scrap fabrics. So let them speak to you. Let them direct you in your journey of design. So with that, I hope that you have an absolutely amazing evening, and I'll see you in the next one.